Just dropped the girlfriend off at Cosme, which is the Japanese equivalent to our Sephora. She can probably kill a couple hours there. Today I'm watch shopping in Shinjuku. Finally, hopefully we get to see the watches that we actually want to see. There's 3 exact models that I'm now hunting after. Instead of just trying to check everything out and get pictures of everything, I really want to see the Wimbledon 36 on the Jubilee with the fluted bezel. First and foremost, in all steel. I still haven't had a chance to see that in person, so fingers crossed we find that here. The other 2 watches that I'm after, the IWC IW 325517, that one's gonna be super rare. I know WatchNan has one based on their listing online, but I don't know if it's at the Shinjuku location. So that Pilot watch, I really want to get hands-on with and see it on the wrist and see what it looks like. The second watch is a Cartier Roadster. From me trying on at Nakano, I really liked it. I thought it would be too big for me, but surprisingly, the size was very decent. I think it fit me quite well. Those are the 2 watches I mainly want to check out. Let's see if any of the stores will have them in stock.
First shop is Ginza Rasin. These guys do a lot of selling on Chrono 24, so I recognize their name. Starting light with a cabinet of Air Kings and Oyster Perpetuals. This Rolex 36 Grape Dial 116000 is my favorite dial of the reference, after the white dial of course. An older Oyster Day with a Spider dial, reference 1500, produced between the 1960s and 70s. I've only really seen this type of dial on old Submariners. Priced at 9,000 Canadian, so it definitely commands a premium. Here's the grey OP39 I tried on in Nakano, plus that beautiful beige dial right behind it. Priced at around 16,000 Canadian, the same as we saw at Nakano. Ginza Rasin put stickers to block out the serial numbers for new watches. Next is a beautiful 1601 with an aged, warm grey dial, priced at under 8,000 Canadian. I've never appreciated these much back when they had their boom around 2020 and 21. That was when everyone went crazy with the sports models, while we had channels like Theo and Harris obsessing over these 4-digit Datejusts. They really were ahead of their times, as these are now making a serious comeback. Check that out. A Wimbledon Datejust 36 with a smooth bezel on Oyster. I want to highlight the price here of 1.45 million yen, as we'll see the same model later. If only this one came on a Jubilee. Over to some heavy hitters, starting with the 16520 Rolex Daytona full kit. Both the price and the green sign indicates that it's a Patrizzi dial, meaning the sub-dial surrounds are turning yellow, making it more desirable. A handsome Rolex GMT Master 2, tritium, Holz case, serif bezel with hollow end links. Lugs looking sharp. Priced at 18,000 Canadian before tax exemptions. And who wants green bezel Submariners? Well, this store has a ton of them. Black bezels as well, from pre-ceramics to modern, they've got almost every reference lined up here. Here's a 14060M, a semi-Zorro dial with superluminova on hollow end links. Interesting configuration. Full kit though. Hope you guys are as obsessive with these dials as I am. Here's another semi-Zorro, this time on a 16610. This is my first time seeing it on the date sub. Seems like the naked 16610s are going for just around 14,000 Canadian, while the full kits hover around 15.
Ginza Rasin right behind me did not have the Datejust, but they did have a really cool collection of Submariners, pre-ceramic and ceramics. Personally, I like the non-semi-Zorro better with the serif text. The semi-Zorro's S is more like a Z. Some people might like that. It's up to the collector's choice.
Surprise! Finally, at Quark in Shinjuku, I found the watch I've been searching for all this trip. This is the Rolex Datejust 36, Wimbledon dial, fluted bezel on Jubilee bracelet. All the Quarks across Japan are very strict about not allowing photos inside the store, but it's okay as long as they see an intent to purchase. And there was indeed a strong intent. This definitely is a very heavy-hitting watch with a lot of shine to it. The price here is fair, set at just under 19,000 Canadian after tax exemptions.
Just left Quark. I finally got to try on my Wimbledon Datejust 36, and what did I think? All steel, fluted bezel, Jubilee bracelet, Wimbledon dial, the perfect configuration, the most popular Datejust from what all these stores have been telling me. You know, I think SC was right. SC, the Patek Philippe YouTuber, and also a couple people in my comment sections in the last couple videos that I've talked about this specific Datejust, it is very shiny. I don't think it's a dailyable watch. Like, it wears a lot more like a president instead of a Datejust, and it's funny because it is a Datejust. Like, it is the most quintessential Datejust with the fluted Jubilee, fluted bezel Jubilee bracelet, but it feels a little too elegant, too fragile even. If that's something I can describe it as. Of course, I know it's a Rolex. It's gonna wear very well and hold up very well. Also, it wears a little small. Maybe it's because of the bezel blending into the Jubilee bracelet, but definitely feels smaller than even my 12600 Oyster Perpetual. Let's get a move on. Let's see if I can find that Roadster, or one of the two variations of the Roadsters, and relive the moment that I had yesterday with my experience with that watch.
I'm headed to Best Vintage next, one of the biggest used watch stores here in Shinjuku with a marvelous selection. Out of all the stores here, they're the lightest when it comes to modern Rolexes, but make up for it with a horde of museum-grade neo-vintage watches from IWC, JLC, Cartiers, to PPs and APs, and obviously, some Rolex. You gotta have some Rolex, right? Like I was saying, these older Datejust 1601s are really making a comeback. This one here has a really unique patina, almost like rust mixed with granite. Honestly, for 15-something Canadian, this style has much more personality than any of the Wimbledon 36 configurations. I can't believe I sound like a hater now. To its sides are two others, both with a bit more uneven fading on the dial. Next is a rare Ivory Explorer 2, reference 16550. This reference on white is a lot more rare, characterized by its dial being much more susceptible to fading. A Rolex 5513 mil sub. Just look at that price. Definitely museum grade stuff right here. Imagine how it would look with a seatbelt grade NATO though. A range of dressier watches, starting with an older Lecoultre chronograph, reference E355. Smaller at 35mm, featuring a Valjoux movement. That's surprising, as I thought JLC was supposed to be the maker of all makers, the movement supplier for other brands, priced at under 9,000 Canadian dollars. An IWC Mark 12, priced at under 5,000 Canadian. This is the best price we've seen so far for this model, likely due to its lack of boxing papers. And is that a Cartier tank? No, it's a Chopard. Look at that case. If it wasn't for the lack of a blue jewel at the crown, the design is almost a one-to-one with the Cartier. I love that black ostrich strap, by the way. A rare 222-100-2 Universal Genève tri-compacts from the 1960s, priced at 14 Canadian. I think the last time I heard an explanation on what a tri-compact does was when Talking Hands was still on Watchfinder. Man, that was an era. What a beautiful era for the watch hobby. And is that a Franck Muller? No, that's a Vacheron Constantin Le Historiques. Lugs look positively radiomere, priced very attractively at under 10,000 Canadian. And here's a watch I bet you've never seen out in the wild, or thought about owning for that matter. This is a Audemars Piguet Star Wheel. Its papers proudly displayed behind the watch. This kind of feels like looking through an aquarium's glass tank. Was it Cartier, the one that does the magic hand dial where it looks like it's detached? Maybe this AP was the pioneer of that. And another AP. If you show up here with 20,000 Canadian dollars today, you can own two of the Holy Trinity. The 4 different typefaces on the dial is looking very Blancpain. Maybe that's why the resale is so low. Over to 2 Breguet classiques. You guys would often let me know in the comments the watches that you've purchased or like show more of this brand, but I don't ever recall seeing Breguet being mentioned. Let me know if you own or is considering a Breguet. They're certainly beautiful watches, but my personal observation is you've got to have a crazy net worth to really enjoy this brand. Or maybe you're just the pontiff.
It's winner, winner, chicken dinner.
And while Breguet might be the true stealth wealth, ain't nothing stealthy about this Patek Philippe annual calendar 5035 in 18-karat yellow gold. This one's full kit from 1998, priced at around 44,000 Canadian. It's crazy to think that this is just $10,000 more than what a modern GMT Master 2 goes for. And here's an interesting Cartier tank with, is that called a piano dial? Reference W52000018. And here is the best deal of Shinjuku so far by far. A 14060M Rolex Submariner, inner box only, Superluminova dated 2004 with solid end links, priced at just a touch over 11,000 Canadian dollars. Wow. Final watch at the store is a Blancpain Aqualung. Something about the design language of this watch feels so foreign yet agreeable. I've always been a fan of this model.
That was my first time seeing a 14060M priced at that price. Even though it's a semi-Zorro dial, it still looks like it's in great condition. I don't know if it's because there's a lot of service parts, but at 11,000 Canadian, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Like even your normal 14060s aren't priced at that $11,000 range here in Japan. So maybe there's a deal to be had. Maybe you guys should hurry over to Best Vintage Shop for the cheapest 14060M in existence.
Somehow I missed that watch stand behind me on camera right now. Google Maps didn't show it for some reason, so unfortunately, no Shinjuku watch stand this year.
But for the next stop, we're heading over to Okura.
Okura actually has 3 stores here in Shinjuku. The first one we're going to right now is a general everything shop carrying luxury bags and watches. The other 2 each specialize in one category specifically. Starting off Okura with a series of master control JLCs. This blue dial to the right was a limited edition that released in 2022, made in 800 pieces. You'd think that's a small production run for JLC, but it actually took 2023, 24, and 25 for the market to digest all 800. Likely due to the discrepancy between retail and market prices, it's just too big of a gap for JLC post-COVID. This watch retailed for 14,300 Canadian and is now here for just about 7,000. To its left, a master control calendar priced at just under 7,000. In the next cabinet, all I see is a snowy white birch that stands in the middle of a lush forest with leaves growing on a cherry tree. That last part was in Grand Seiko's own words. References from the left to right are SLGH005, SBGH351, and SBGH343. The white birch would probably be my pick of the bunch. But over to the next cabinet, here's something I like quite a bit. The entire manual wind 37mm SBGW range has been nothing but gems, and this SBGW287 is no exception. Its brethren to the right, reference SBGW285. Grand Seiko's description for this watch is simply the essence of seasons. An ice blue King Seiko here on the right. These new King Seikos seem to be holding strong on the secondary market, pricing all around 2,000 Canadian, which is basically retail. Over to 2 Pepsis and a Coke. I'm still shocked by when I saw the prices of modern GMT Master 2s at Nakano for the first time. Well, personally, I like the 5 digits more and the price is much more agreeable. So let's check out this 16710. Priced at just about 15,000 Canadian, this example features a tritium dial, serif bezel, holes case, and hollow end links. Looks to be in immaculate condition. It's crazy remembering a time when the code 1159 first released, and everyone was like, ew, put that away. It feels just like last year, even though it was actually released in 2019. Can you believe that? Time really flies. A friend of mine who bought a steel Royal Oak at the New York boutique said the 1159 has become an initiation watch for the brand. Take that how you will. Here's the dress model to his right. Next shop, we're headed to Sekine, a pawn shop of sorts. This location actually has a lot of watches. Here, you can see the Wimbledon 36 Smooth on Oyster is listed for just above 13,000 Canadian, which is basically retail after taxes. This is the cheapest example I've seen so far this trip. But also, seems like there's no shortage on this configuration. Wow, this next cabinet looks like it could just be my entire watch collection. You've got the big block Tudor 79170, edges and chamfers all looking very sharp, priced at 8,000 Canadian, which is also very sharp. Looks to be a really minty example. The JLC Master Control Black on bracelet to its right. The dial emanating a slight brown hue. Priced at higher than Shibuya though, also selling at 8. And the IWC Engineer that released a few years ago. See, the price here seems to be coming down. 1.8 million yen retail, now selling at 1.2.
I really feel like these second-hand pawn shops are really where the deals are to be had.
Next, I'm headed to another pawn shop. This place carries anything from bags to jewelry to watches. Here I try on a watch I've been wanting to get hands on since not long after joining the hobby. This is the Seiko Prospect Zaku celebrating 40 years of Gundam. Also, sorry for the lighting in the store, it's flashing like crazy on camera, so I'll try to be brief here. But yeah, tuna can silhouette, way too big for my wrist, but it's still so cool. Like a childhood accessory you can get from a gacha machine type of feeling. The price brings me back to reality though, selling at just above 3,000 Canadian. And here's a Tudor I've never seen in person before. The Tudor Monarch sold only in the Asian market. Not difficult to guess why. I speak a little bit of Mandarin and still have no idea what these characters on the bezel means. Please share with us in the comments below if you can read it. It reminds me of like fortune-telling scriptures. Also, really odd that this watch chose to do numerals for the odd hours. It's a smaller watch on the wrist. Not for me, but now I can say I've tried a Tudor Monarch. And now for the last shop, we're headed to the Okura that specializes in watches. The one to the right specializes in bags, so you'll want to visit the one to the left. No Cartier Roadster today, but I did find a Cartier Tortue in pink gold. The color of the metal definitely makes it wear a bit smaller than silver, but still elegant nonetheless. There was a comment saying the Roadster is a sportier and much more affordable version of the Tortue, and I couldn't agree more. This example also seems to be in pretty extreme shape, with signs of wear all over the case and a chip in the crystal at the 430 position. It's priced accordingly though, under 9,000 Canadian for this piece.
And just like that, 9 stores down, well maybe it was a little more because there were a few that weren't on my Google Maps saved and I went to them anyways. Most of them were pawn shops or secondhand stores that don't specialize in watches. They sell bags and jewelries and other stuff. But 9 stores down, what I mean to say is Shinjuku, they did have the Wimbledon Datejust that I was looking for, but they don't have the Cartier Roadster or the Mark 16 Pilot Japan-limited edition from 2010, which is a shame because I will have to keep my eye out for both. I know for the Roadster, I saw it at Nakano yesterday. If I do want to buy it, I can always go back. But 4,500 Canadian dollars after tax deduction is still a little pricey because I've seen it on Marketplace locally in Vancouver before, listed around that $3,500 to $4,000 range. I really like that watch. I don't know.
Here I ramble a bit too much, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Next up, we're headed to Ginza, so I'll see you guys there.